Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. This one goes out to, I give a big shout out to Seth292 who asked me would I do a story on the Sudan crisis, and this is what I know about the Sudan crisis. Up to now, the Sudan crisis death toll is 150,000, although there has been some estimates that there has been more people killed, but just that they haven't been tallied yet. And this has affected almost 25 million people in Sudan, and it all started over two tribes. The origins of who's fighting and what the conflict is about. The conflict began on the 15th of April 2023 when violent clashes erupted between the regular military Sudanese armed forces known as the SAF and the paramilitary rapid support forces known as the RSF. The RFS had previously been loosely allied with the SAF, but long-standing tensions, including over attempts to integrate the RSF into the regular army, exploded into full-blown war. The conflict is not merely a power struggle between rival military factions, but reflects deeper fractures, competition over control of territory resources, including gold mining, which has bolstered RSF finances and political influence. The RFS lineage traces back to militias, notably including the infamous Janjaweed, long accused of atrocities against civilian communities, especially in regions like Darfur. Over time, the war has spread from far beyond Khartoum, engulfing large swathes of Sudan, especially Darfur, Kordofan, Gizaria, and other states. Humanitarian catastrophe, displacement, hunger, and collapse of services. Displacement, the war has triggered what the UN calls the largest internal displacement crisis in the world. As of 2025, millions are uprooted, over 8.8 million internally displaced, and more than 3.5 million have fled to neighbouring countries. Many displaced people are living in makeshift shelters, camps, or overcrowded host communities, often without consistent access to shelter, clean water, sanitation, or basic services. Food insecurity and famine. Sudan is experiencing catastrophic food insecurity. Up to 25 million people face acute hunger. Famine has been confirmed in multiple areas, especially displacement camps and conflict-affected parts of Darfur and other states. Agricultural production, which previously provided food and income for much of the population, has collapsed in many regions due to fighting, displacement, and insecurity. Health and disease infrastructure collapse. The health system has been decimated in conflict affected areas. Up to 80% of health facilities are non-functional or closed. As a result, widespread disease outbreaks, including cholera, malaria, dengue, Measles have occurred in overcrowded camps, and poor sanitation exacerbate these. Medical aid in scarce. Many clinics have been looted or destroyed, staff have been threatened or killed, and critical medicines are unavailable. Protection crisis, violence against civilians. The war is marked by massive violations of human rights and international humanitarian law. Civilians, including women and children, face indiscriminate shelling, targeting, killing, sexual and gender based violence, arbitrary detention, ethnic profiling, and more. The conflict has become increasingly emphasized. Victims of violence are often from marginalized or targeted communities, especially regions like Darfur. Education has effectively collapsed in many regions. Schools closed or repurposed, children displaced or forced to drop out, with long term consequences for the next generation. Military dynamics and recent developments. 2024 to 2025. In March 2025, the SAF retook key parts of the capital, including the presidential palace and main airport, dealing a symbolic blow to the RSF's claim to power. But that did not end the war. Instead, fighting and atrocities shifted to other parts of the country, especially Darfur and Kordofan. The RSF strengthened control in these regions even as the SAF maintained a foothold in central areas. Critical infrastructure has been targeted, including power supplies, dam attacks, water sources, markets, hospitals, worsening the civilian toll and undermining basic services. The RSF remains deeply entrenched, financially strong via gold mining and other revenue streams, territorially expansive and politically ambitious, even attempting to establish parallel administration government in areas under the control. Why this is a global humanitarian emergency. According to the United Nations, or the Useless Nothings agency, Sudan crisis is arguably the largest humanitarian catastrophe on earth right now, with tens of millions in need of urgent food, shelter, water, healthcare, and protection, including many children. The social fabric of the country is at risk of long term collapse. International aid efforts are severely constrained. Insecurity, looting, and bureaucratic obstacles hinder delivery. Many organisations have withdrawn or scaled back operations within the ceasefire sustained humanitarian areas, and comprehensive political regulation. Millions risk starvation, disease, displacement, and generations may suffer lasting trauma. The broader implications in the region. The conflict is destabilising the border region. Mass flows of refugees into neighbouring countries. Regional security concerns, cross border pressures on refugee camps is ongoing. So, this is Sudan, and we need to pray for the peace of Sudan, that these two factions would come together and bring peace to such a war torn country. The Christians are being affected there too, so pray for the peace of Sudan and the Christian population there. Shalom, Maranatha. Hallelujah.